What's good, guys? Today we're going to be breaking down Rozenstruik versus Gaziev. It's a heavyweight fight, but not one of the most anticipated fights that people look forward to. But we're back at the Apex, and I'm looking forward to this card, man. Considering that UFC Mexico, Mexicans got wiped out, man, and we saw a lot of cards. We saw a lot of fights go to split decision, and like a lot of weird judging. And Brandon Moreno, like this guy throws away round 4 and 5. Royval throws 400 strikes and lands at a 26% clip. He throws like 20 strikes at the forearms and lands one. Like, so now we got to see Pantoja versus Royval again. Like, I don't want to see that. Like, flyweight is so shallow right now. I'm not gonna lie, my boy Brandon might be washed. I think he's been in too much wars. Yair Rodriguez got subbed by T City. I had T City, man, but I switched to Yair last minute. I'm not gonna lie, Yair is a massive hole in his takedown defense. That guy dropped Brian Ortega and then he loses. Like, this guy has the takedown defense of a baby calf. Like, Frankie Edgar even finished Yair Rodriguez. I don't know why I didn't consider. I thought the layoff was gonna be too much for Brian Ortega, but talk about like overrated. Yair Rodriguez, his ground game sucks. My guy gives up in the third round as soon as he gets into the choke. Alright, let's break down this card. I was just hating on UFC Mexico, but we back. Let's break it down with the first fight. CLD versus Claudio Ribeiro. Let's break them down. Let's break them down. Let's break them down. Minus 260, moderate favorite. That's too huge of a favorite. Plus 202, plus 210 for the moderate underdog. England versus Brazil. 28 years old, 31 years old, 186 to 185, 6'2", 6'1", 79 to 77. I'm going CLD, man. And I'm going CLD just because he has a little bit of a cleaner record. He's a lot of people are going CLD, but don't bet on this fight. If you're gonna bet on it, you could bet the over 1.5. I bet those odds are gonna be better than minus 260. You look at both of these guys. Let's just look at Claudio Ribeiro's record. This guy lost to Roman Kopylov, head kick round 2. It's crazy considering Roman Kopylov got submitted by Anthony Hernandez. That was a good fight, man. I love that fight. And we got UFC 299 next week, man. We're in for some good fights, man. This after this card, man, we're in for a treat. I'm going CLD just because if you look at his wins, he's fought more tougher competition. He lost to Armin Petrosian, and I'm giving him more credit on that loss than any of Claudio Ribeiro's wins. Armin Petrosian just got submitted by Rodolfo Vieira, but Rodolfo Vieira is used to the grills. And there's no shame. Armin Petrosian, he's elite. He's one of the elite of the elite. And I'm going CLD, and I'm going by second round KO. I got a lot of my finishing predictions right. I only got 2 predictions wrong on the last card. But the 2 most important fights of the card I got wrong. We got Loki Razbanov versus Al Salwadi. Like these people who are from. He's from Palestine, so he has a crazy name. This is gonna be a good fight, though. We got only 26% of the people who are picking Razabov, but if we break this down, he's a plus 130, slight underdog, and then a 155 slight favorite. I like those odds, man. When you see odds like Abdul's odds, 155, he's making his debut. You take him. You take him. Whether like let's just look at his. He comes from Desert Force champion. He got the title there too as well. He fought in LFA. I didn't even know that. He had a grappling match. Most of the time, he has a lot of good wins. I'm not gonna lie, bro. This guy can be a future prospect. And then we got Loke. Hang on. I have to sneeze, but I guess I don't. His last loss was to overhand left round 2. He got chinned pretty bad. I'm going Abdul. And I'm going Abdul just because he's from Palestine and a lot of people from there, that side of the world are training like madmen. And if you see his fights, Abdul is not a guy who's going to just give up round 2 and 3 like Moreno. He's going to actually try. Let's go Abdul. And I'm going under 2.5. Under 2.5 for this one. Alright, up the card, Javid Basharat versus Ariel Helwani. Like, you guys, look at this guy. This guy looks like Ariel Helwani, bro. This guy looks so much like Ariel Helwani. It's actually kind of crazy. I'm actually surprised. Like, how close they look alike. Javid Basharat, though, if you know the Basharat brothers are awesome, man. What's that? What's that? The Bonfim brothers. The Bonfim brothers are fraud. Well, not frauds, but one of them got fraud checked by Nicholas Dalby, and it's because they finished so hard in the first round. Like they're first round finishers. The Bonfim brothers are first round finishers. You look at the Basharat brothers. These guys are more opportunistic. They don't force outcomes. You know, Bonfim. They kind of, sometimes if they don't get the finish within the first round, oh, let me not gas, let me just play this point game. But these guys are very opportunistic. They're more like a Muhammad Mokaev, who's next up, who's a little bit higher on this card. But I love Muhammad Mokaev because he can be the nail. And that's the same thing with Basharat. They can be the nail. We saw on Saturday. I hate to just keep on bringing up UFC Mexico, but let's talk about Brandon Moreno playing the catch up. He has a harder time at being the nail than he has at when he's winning and he's cruising. When he fought Davison Figueiredo, his hardest times was when he couldn't deal with the power. And then he has to play catch up, and then he loses by decision. And then with Pantoja, he gets dropped, and then he has to play catch up. Some people are just terrible at being the nail, but when you're opportunistic like Javid Basharat, bro, look at his last 5 wins. Like this guy is obviously it's by decision, but it shows that he can go those rounds and he has the cardio to go, and also he can finish late, which is something that the Bonfim brothers can't. I like the Basharat brothers a little bit more better. I think they're a little bit more elite. Javid Basharat's like a minus. He's like a minus 700. This guy, you go on Flip, you go on any betting app. This guy is not a minus 500. This guy's a minus 700, minus 670. Obviously, he's good for a parlay piece, but Ariel Helwani is definitely not winning this fight. Let's go up. Eric Anders versus Jamie Pickett. Every time I see Jamie Pickett on the card, I'm like, oh my god, this guy sucks. How is he still in the UFC? This guy's 4-1 in his last 5. 95% of the majority picks are for Eric Anders. And Eric Anders, he sucks too, man. He's not even that good. He KOs people, but he's not getting a title anytime soon. But he's good enough to beat somebody like Jamie Pickett. He won a grappling match to Kyle Dawkins, which is crazy because he also beat Kyle Dawkins by ground and pound. I don't know what happened to Kyle Dawkins, man. The Dawkins brothers are another pair of brothers that got fraud checked. Like the Dawkins brothers are out of the UFC. Like they literally got chinned, both of them hard, and they're no longer in the UFC. He lost to Marc-Andre Barrow. That was a pretty good fight. Well, it was kind of boring, but it was kind of good. It was good to watch, just to watch. And it shows that he's tough, though. It shows that he's tough. He's definitely going over 1.5. You look at Eric Anders. Let's just look at the. I didn't break down the tail of the tape for the last fight with Javid Basharat because Javid Basharat's a lock. You don't even have to. I know I said that last week, but Javid Basharat's not losing, and you can count me in on this. You can come back and type, "Oh, Javid Basharat got knocked out." He's not losing. Eric Anders versus Jamie Pickett, minus 340, which is up, increases like a minus 400 now. Plus 260, 35 years old, 36 years old, 184, 185, 186. They both fight at middleweight, 6'1", 6'2", 75, 80. The only thing is Jamie Pickett is one of those guys who is so inconsistent that if Jamie Pickett's going to win a fight, it's this one right here. And when everybody's counting out Jamie Pickett, that's when he wins. But I'm going Eric Anders, and I'm going by KO. No, not KO. No. Eric Anders by decision. Eric Anders by decision. All right. It says that we have Raul Rosas Jr. for this main card, but I don't know. I don't really know if we actually have this, considering Ricky Tercios was already claiming a win after Saturday, considering Raul pulled out. I guess Raul pulled out because he was nervous or something. But we look at this, minus 225, plus 185, Santa Rosa, California, Houston, Texas, 30 years old, 19 years old, 10-year age gap, 11-year age gap, 135, 136, 5'9", 5'9", 67, and 71. I'm going Raul Rosas Jr. The only thing you have to take into consideration is that he got a little nervous and he pulled out. That definitely is kind of weird. But let's go to the next card. Umar Nurmagomedov versus Bursat. This guy's making his debut. I'm not going to lie. Umar should be punished. Umar pulled out against Corey Sandhagen. and then he gets to fight somebody who's making their UFC debut. Like, bro, Umar is a guy who they were willing to give number 3 bantamweight, number 3 ranked in the world bantamweight, Corey Sandhagen, and Umar, the pull-out merchant, pulls out, and then he fights another tomato can. Let's go Umar, minus, like, what? He's like a minus 1,000. He's a minus 2. He's like a minus 1,700 on DraftKings. You look at this. It's plus 650 underdog. I don't even want to look at this guy. This guy hasn't even fought in the UFC. Another tomato can just to feed to Umar. Umar, obviously, it's like a padded record. I'm not gonna lie, this guy reminds me of Habib. I feel like he's gonna retire early, but Umar's a prospect, obviously. But I know Corey Sandhagen whoops him. Corey Sandhagen would have whooped his ass. But a lot of people are gonna not like my opinion on that. But I don't really like Umar. This guy fights once a year, but he's always a lock whenever he fights because it's always against the tomato can. He beat Ronnie Barcelos, which is actually a pretty good win, considering Barcelos bounced back on this Saturday. But I don't know, man. Umar's a lock, man. I don't even have to break this fight down. Let's look at it. 5'7", 5'7", 69-inch reach. His reach is not even in Tapology because this guy just got to the UFC. He's making his debut just because they didn't have anybody else for Umar. So go Umar. There's not a lot of props on that, but I'm going Umar. Main card. This is a way better fight. Matt Schnell versus Steve Erceg. Matt Schnell had that crazy fight against He had that crazy fight of the I don't know, it wasn't fight of the year, but he definitely got a bonus for that. It was against he lost to Montuis Nicolau 2 in round 2, which is crazy. He lost to Brandon Royval guillotine round 1. And then I think it was Tyson Nam. No. Oh no, it was Summer Derry where he got the triangle choke. That was awesome. That fight was awesome. Steve Erceg is minus 300, which is huge. Plus 250, 34-28, flyweight division, 5'8", 5'8", 70-inch reach to 68. I'm going Steve Erceg. 91% I'm going Steve Erceg just because Steve Erceg's last 5 wins are amazing. They're better than Matt Schnell. Alejandro Acosta, David Dvorak was a good win. He usually wins by decision sometimes or gets a finish early. And then he got like a couple of subs right here. He actually has a lot of subs and then 1 KO. I'm going Steve Erceg, and I'm going Steve Erceg by unanimous decision. Let's go. So far though, I've picked every single favorite to win. Hopefully though, we get some dogs. UFC 299 because this is gonna be a mostly favorite card. Alex Perez versus Muhammad Mokaev. Guys, Muhammad Mokaev is somebody who I consider a little bit more elite and a little bit more risk-taking than Umar Nurmagomedov. Because Muhammad Mokaev has been the nail. Like I said earlier in this video, he was the nail against Tim Elliott. And what I mean by the nail is basically he's losing the fight and let's see if he can win. Like playing catch-up. He was losing the fight. Well, it was I thought it was 1-1 or at least 1-1, but a judge had it 2-0 for Tim Elliott, and then he got the arm triangle in round 3. We saw with Jafel Fiallo where he almost like the guy was pulling on his leg so hard and he still didn't tap. And then we saw with Malcolm Gordon. Malcolm Gordon has pretty good takedown defense, but he still finished him in the 3rd round. Charles Johnson, Cody Durden. This guy, Muhammad Mokaev, is a future prospect. I think this guy is a future champion. I have more faith in Muhammad Mokaev than I do in Umar Nurmagomedov just because I haven't seen enough on Umar Nurmagomedov. Muhammad Mokaev is a guy who wanted to be the youngest UFC champion. He still can be, but he has... oh no, never mind. He can't be the youngest champion no more, ever. But he's fighting Alex Perez. We look at it, plus 220, minus 270. I remember Alex Perez when he fought Deiveson Figueiredo. Deiveson Figueiredo fought last month, and then the next month, he fought 2 pay-per-views back-to-back, I think. And Deiveson Figueiredo submitted Alex Perez in the 1st round. When Deiveson Figueiredo just fought last month too. He's 31 years old, 23 years old, flyweight division, 5'6" to 5'7". I said flyweight was shallow. It's because we need a prospect like Muhammad Mokaev to come up in the rankings. 65, 70-inch reach, pretty long reach for flyweight. I'm just gonna base my just Alex Perez's last two losses are very significant. Alexandre Pantoja, first round, like this guy last fought in 2022, canceled bout, canceled bout, canceled bout, then a grappling match into a draw. Talk about like somebody who's been inconsistent. Look at how many canceled bout. Matt Schnell, Oscar Skarov, he would have lost. Matt Schnell, Oscar Skarov, he would have lost all these fights. This guy is inconsistent as hell, bro. Like he fought in 2020 and then he fought in 2022. Like this guy is definitely not winning. I'm going Muhammad Makayev. Use him as a parlay piece. He's a minus 300. He's gonna just get us a bigger favorite. He's not gonna get any lighter. So take him now. Take him now while you can. These 5% that are picking Perez, I don't know what they're basing their picks on. Like Muhammad Makayev is gonna just run through this guy. I'm going submission second round. Co-main event: Victor Petrino versus Tyson Pedro. This video has been a lot faster than any of my full card predictions. It's because this fight night kind of sucks. We got a lot of predictable fights, but that means that you guys can do a little bit better on the betting. And not only that, but we got a Friday weigh-in recap video, and maybe Wednesday I'm gonna drop like a video where I'm breaking down Shamil, or I'm breaking down Victor Petrino. All right, we got Tyson Pedro versus Victor Petrino, minus 305, plus 245 underdog. Brazil versus Australia, 26 years old, 32, 206, 205, light heavyweight division, 6'2", 6'3", 77-inch reach to 79. 89% are picking Petrino. I think Pedro has more of a chance to win than Alex Perez does. But you never know. It's MMA. That's why it's one of the most entertaining sports in the world. Pedro's last fight, I feel like he hasn't fought in a long time. Last time we saw him was against Antun Takari. He won against jab cross to hammer fist round 1. I remember that. He lost to Modestas Bukaskis, and then Mauricio Roya, and then Ovince Peru. He should be beating those guys. I think he should be beating those guys, but he doesn't. Tyson Pedro is inconsistent. He's somebody that like here and there he wins, not all the time. I'm going Victor Petrino, and I'm going Victor Petrino by probably third round. I'm going probably second or third round TKO. I think he hurts Tyson Pedro badly. Main event of the evening, guys. Jairzinho Rozenstruik versus Shamil Gaziev. I didn't even know who this guy was. Like, I was like, what? Who is this guy, and why is he a favorite over Rozenstruik? And you look at him, and no wonder he's a favorite against Rozenstruik. He's a wrestler. He's a wrestler who could take you down and then ground and pound you. Look at his last finishes. Elbows, rear naked choke, punches, decision split, rear naked choke. Some people say that he gasses, and maybe he can gas. But we're talking about Rozenstruik, man. I saw this guy when I was working. I used to be working and watching the UFC main event on Saturday, and he fought. I saw him fight Volkov, and I saw him fight Ciryl Gane. Both boring fights, man. Like, holy shoot, this guy is boring. Like, god damn, call me a casual, but this guy is, talk about boring. Like, he makes heavyweight so boring. We need a guy like Shamil to win. But he lost against Jailton Almeida, rear naked choke round 1. Chris Dawkins, which is crazy because Derek Lewis went 5 rounds with Jailton Almeida. Chris Dawkins, he beat Chris Dawkins round 1 in punches. Chris Dawkins is a tomato can. They both got cut from the UFC. Dawkins brothers. Alexander Volkov, he lost 2022. This guy's not active at all. And whenever he's active, he doesn't even move his feet. This guy's so flat-footed. Then he lost to Curtis Blades by unanimous decision. He beat Augusto Sakai. Ciryl Gane, he lost to. I remember that fight, man. And then Junior Dos Santos, he beat. That's when I thought he was going to be a prospect, but this guy has too many losses on his record. He's 13-5. I'm going Shamil, and I'm going by first round submission. Shamil, first round submission, but we know how this goes. If Shamil gasses and can't take Rozenstruik down, we're in for a long main event. But I don't think this main event's going to be as boring as last Mexico. Like, Holy smokes, Royval is boring. Like, that guy just punches, never lands. He just lands on the forearms. No finishing ability at all. Hopefully this Saturday ends a little bit quicker. The card starts at 1. Main event starts at 4 p.m. Shamil Gaziev, first round submission. Let's go. If you guys like this video, guys, drop a like, comment down below. Guys, I went a little bit more crazier and more honest with my predictions because a lot of these UFC fighters are getting away with just giving up 2 to 3 rounds, or giving up, like Yair, he gives up when he gets, where he gave up against Volk when Volk was overwhelming him, just took him down relentlessly, and he's just covering, and then Volk is just hitting him. He gave up right there, gave up against Frankie Edgar, and then gave up against Brian Ortega when he just tapped out. He didn't even try to fight choke. Fighters need to start being more like advantageous. So I need to start making my picks based on who's more opportunistic. Somebody like Brian Ortega is a guy who can be the nail, but he's more opportunistic. He's more able to grab the finish, lock in the choke, rather than Yair, who mostly wins the fights that he's mostly winning. When when has Yair ever won a fight where he is losing and then comes back? The only one was against Korean Zombie. That guy Yair Rodriguez he's never gonna get the belt again. I think Yair's done, man. But let me know what you guys think. Drop a like, subscribe, guys, and I'll see you guys in the next one, guys. W predictions video. Like the fucking video. Let's go. See you at the top. The best is blessed. Let's go. Moreno, you disappointed me last Saturday.